guys, we are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Cardi B and Saweetie are always beefing, but it looks like Saweetie is being accused of reheating Cardi B's nachos. She got a song coming out with some guy named Paul, and we know Saweetie's irrelevant musically, so is Cardi B technically. But fans are saying that Saweetie is copying Cardi B and that she has secret animosity towards Cardi B because, you know, as it was previously reported that allegedly Saweetie messed with Off the Cheap, but allegedly it was Saweetie's friend. Now, let's take a listen to what Saweetie got coming.
Like mint condition, I'm the definition. Tell me what's your sign, cause it's criminal, that girl is so fine.
Okay, so let me know how y'all feel about that. Fans are saying that she is copying Bruno and Cardi B's collaboration, Finesse and Please Me, which have a similar beat and melody, and it seems as though they sampling somebody. Okay, so, you know, a lot of people think that Saweetie's taunting Cardi B because they have beef due to Off the Cheat. Here's my thing. I think Saweetie, her music is trash. Cardi B's music is trash. It don't really matter. Musical in 2025 has been garbage, and I really wish they both would retire. Okay, Saweetie just looked better than Cardi B, but musically she don't got it either. And y'all can pretend like she got it, but when it comes to actually supporting Saweetie, y'all go ghost. I noticed that y'all cape in the comments, but when it's time to support Saweetie, y'all go ghost, and that's why she also hasn't put out her debut album because she's been flopping for many years. Now, moving on to Doja Badu. As we know, Doja Cat is doing a pop R&B album, which she has previously spoken about in the public plenty of times, and she is going to be inspired by 80s and 70s type of music. Allegedly, she is trying to get another collaboration from The Weeknd. Okay? As we know, they have 2 collaborations already that they've done. But The Weeknd, I feel like he would fit good on a Doja Cat pop R&B album. The only thing is, allegedly, The Weeknd doesn't really want to do it unless he gets paid. Because if you guys remember, Doja Cat canceled on the king of pop. Well, some people call him the king of pop. I think it's debatable. I don't think he's my king of pop, but some people consider The Weeknd to be the king of pop. But anyway, she canceled on The Weeknd. She was supposed to open up for him on tour a few years ago, and she canceled last minute because she had a vaping problem. Remember, she was addicted to vape, and, you know, she had to get some sort of surgery, and she couldn't perform because she was an addict. And with that being said, The Weeknd allegedly still feels some type of way about that, okay? Because she did cancel last minute. Now, I feel as though The Weeknd should forgive Doja Cat and still do the collaboration. But I can understand if he didn't, because business is business. And people should be compensated if they do a feature, whether an artist is big or not. I feel like Doja Cat, she would want to be compensated. I heard she don't do collaborations for free. I heard she has gotten compensated from Whack Harlow for doing that collaboration, for doing the collaboration with Lisa Ray. So I feel like she does deserve to give The Weeknd a coin. But how much do you think he deserves? Now, moving on from that, it has been reported that Chris Breezy, Doodle Garbage, Mr. Lanes all have allegations from women signed to Devil Nation. Interesting. A lot of people feel like Devil Nation is strategically coming after Doodle Garbage, Mr. Lanes, and Chris Breezy colorist. Now, Chris Breezy was recently, unfortunately, arrested in London, which was his fault because he threw a bottle at somebody over his head, allegedly. And then Torian got stabbed 14 times. I got the real tea about that on Patreon, what happened behind the scenes in regards to that. Doodle Garbage is losing custody of his child, Halo, to Hailey Bailey, who is not signed to Devil Nation. She's signed to Parkwood Entertainment. And Walmart Beyonce and Hailey are basically shelved on Parkwood Entertainment. Okay? Maybe if they were signed to Devil Nation, they would get a little bit more help. But unfortunately, Camelface is not interested. Now, with that being said, do I feel like Chris Breezy and Tory are being targeted by Devil Nation? Absolutely. Okay? But, you know, Camelface never liked Chris Breezy. Even when he was dating Rihanna, he never cared for him like that. So I can see him getting targeted, especially after he set free Tory. I definitely think him getting arrested, I don't feel like that was a coincidence. Even though he did do the crime, you got to do the time. No shade. I mean, if you threw the bottle, you knocked somebody upside their head, then you probably don't want to go back to the UK. You might want to stay in LA. But I just feel like that was definitely calculated. But as for Doodle Garbage, I don't feel like Devil Nation is after Doodle Garbage at all. Didn't Doodle Garbage get a bottle of alcohol from Camelface for the album that he dropped, even though it flopped? And the reason why I don't think Devil Nation is after Doodle Garbage like they are after Chris Breezy and Tory is because, one, Doodle Garbage is not a big artist. Tory, Chris Breezy they sell more, way more. Let's just be honest. Okay? And number two, Hailey is not under Devil Nation. I think people get Devil Nation and Parkwood Entertainment very confused. Unfortunately, Hailey's under Parkwood Entertainment and she's basically shelved. Last week, Hailey actually unfollowed Parkwood Entertainment in Colombia. People forget about that. But last week, she unfollowed them because they don't have a budget over there. Walmart Beyonce and Hailey don't have a budget over at Parkwood Entertainment anymore. Basically getting dropped. Now, with that being said, though, I do feel like Hailey was very calculated when she announced that she'd be filing for full custody and basically that, you know, Doodle Garbage was abusing her. You know, I do feel like that was calculated only because he just dropped an album. Okay? And she has, you know, receipts dated back to January. So I do feel like that was calculated. But I do feel like Doodle Garbage definitely abused Hailey. The receipts are out there. Ruby Rose also said it. And we stand by Hailey. We stand by Cassie, who are victims. But I do feel like it was calculated to announce that after his album dropped. And she didn't really announce it, but she basically gave TMZ the inside scoop, okay? But I will say this, I do feel like Doodle Garbage could get blackballed musically. Not necessarily with Twitch or streaming. But I definitely feel like he can get blackballed musically. I can see a lot of people not wanting to work with him in the industry. Especially since Hailey is more connected in the music side of things. And even deeper in Hollywood than Doodle Garbage. Doodle Garbage is only connected on YouTube and when it comes to the streaming world. And a lot of the artists that he do work with, most of them are not really super hot. Bia and The Baby, like, come on. A lot of the people that he worked with, some of them are washed. Okay? He's not working with like SZA, The Dream, Champagne Thickums. He's not working with any A-listers. Let's be very clear. You know, Hailey got a Gorilla Glue collaboration coming. Like, you know, Doodle Garbage got most of the collaborations he had on his album were like F and C listers. So that's the thing. I do feel like this will definitely affect his career. He will eventually get blackballed musically. Okay? Not on YouTube or Twitch. Now, moving on from that, unfortunately, things are getting worse for Doodle Garbage. Okay? Doodle Garbage has lost physical and legal custody of his 1-year-old son, Halo. Halle Bailey has been granted temporary sole physical and legal custody of her son until June 4th court hearing. According to legal documents obtained by Page 6, the singer claimed she filed without giving notice to her ex because she was afraid that the violence would reoccur and that she feared the other party would take the children out of the area before the order could be granted and served, okay? A lot of fans have mixed opinions about this, considering that Halle Bailey has been caught on camera saying that Doodle Garbage is a good father.
Everybody knows Moo is the best daddy to him, but I miss him so much. You all know that Halo has the most amazing daddy in the world.
Not that men can't, but you know.
No, he's such an amazing dad. It's literally the sweetest thing in the world. Because we've always...
Oh yeah, I mean, he's a great dad, but I always knew that he would be like this, you know. We had talked about it before. And yeah, that's just the type of person he is, so.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like two things could be true. I do feel like Doodle Garbage was a good father at first, okay? But once him and Halle Bailey split, I feel like his demeanor changed. And what I mean by that is that because he couldn't have access to Halle, he became a terrible father. And then he started abusing Halle. Okay, I don't think the abuse happened throughout their whole relationship. I think it happened once he realized he wasn't going to be able to have access to Halle anymore and do a lot of red carpet events with Halle. If you notice, he ain't at a lot of red carpet events like he was before. Taking pictures with Halle at the Grammys and the Oscars and stuff like that. He's not doing that no more because he ain't getting no damn invite. He was a +1. But with that being said, a lot of men move like that where they're good parents only if they're with the mom. Once they no longer have access to the mother of their children, if they're not sleeping with the mother of the children, if they're not in communication with the mother of the children, they become toxic and they no longer want to be a good parent. And I think that's exactly what had happened, okay? I feel as though even when he did have the child, his mom probably was doing most of the work. Changing diapers, feeding the baby, and he was more like playing with Halo on stream. That's what he was really doing. So I do believe he was a good parent at first. And then once they no longer have access to the mother of the children, they don't want to be a good parent. Men do that all the time, where they're parenting and them being a good person relies on if they're sleeping with a certain person, mostly the mother of the children or a girlfriend or something. If not, they want to be an a-hole. Now, moving on to Scratch Off. Scratch Off put out a song called, Somebody? The song is mid, okay? The bars are terrible. The music video looks cheap, per usual. It's just not a good year for music. I think that, a lot of artists should just go on hiatus and call it a day. The only artist that should not go on hiatus is obviously Queen Bee, Nicki, and Kung Fu Kenny. But everybody else, you might as well just go on hiatus. And Harry Styles. I like Harry. But everybody else needs to go because if you're going to put out mid music all the time, it's pointless. I'm like, she should have kept this in the stash. Like, the chorus ain't bad. It's the bars. It's when she starts rapping, it just sounds terrible. Oh my goodness, it sounds trash. I mean, I'm like, she must have lost her ghostwriter. That's what it's given. It's given she lost her ghostwriter, and that's why she's putting out this trash song. And I think she thought because the chorus is catchy and it's almost summertime that she can get away with it. But no, mediocrity is not allowed. Okay, so Scratch Off. Unfortunately, this song is a negative 2,000 for me. Okay, I will never listen to this song ever again. I really almost thought you had a bop. The way you was bragging about it and posting it in all your videos, but you look and sound a fucking mess, okay? And the thing is, you don't even really need somebody. What you need is a ghostwriter. You need a rebrand. You need a hit single before you get dropped from RCA. That's what you need. You don't need somebody, because the somebody that you have is married. No shade. So you don't need nobody. What you need is a ghostwriter, or a career rebrand to get rid of the Shein outfits. That's what you need to do. And then let me not even get started on Rihanna. Oh my goodness. The song she dropped for the Smurfs movie, what was it called? A Friend Like Me or A Friend Like Mine? That shit was garbage. Doo-doo. A negative 100,000. I can clearly tell she used AI. She just didn't use it right. She used AI, but she didn't use it correctly. I'm like, goodness gracious, I've heard way better AI music than this. This was trash. It didn't even sound like Rihanna. I'm like, who cleared this? Rihanna's washed. That's what it is. I'm sorry to tell y'all, Navy. Even the Navies are dragging her, by the way. I have the receipts. Okay, they was in a group chat dragging Rihanna, so I don't want to hear anybody cape for her in the comments if you did not listen to the song. The song is terrible. Her and ASAP are washed, and they just need to retire from music. Now, moving on to Justin and Hailey come to the front of the congregation and receive 300,000 lashings, which is probably more than what you have in the bank. No shade. It has been reported that Justin is broke. Okay, broke as a joke after grossing allegedly $1 billion in his career. Unfortunately, he has nothing to show for it, and he owes his ex-manager, Scooter Braun, a lot of money. Now, Justin Bieber and his longtime manager, Scooter Braun, relationship reportedly deteriorated over money after the singer's 2022 Justice World Tour, which ended unsuccessfully. Although Bieber had initially claimed Braun was overpaid and had taken millions of dollars through sly means, a new report backed by an internal audit, which paints a different story. According to a report, Justin Bieber owes Scooter Braun over $8 million and has also promised to pay the manager's company, Hype, $24 million after he pulled the plug on his tour in 2022. Not only that, though, TMZ investigators revealed that while Justin was on tour, his wife, Hailey Hailey Bieber, allegedly requested that his team upgrade her jet to the size of one of Kylie Jenner's private jets because she was not taking the lesser jet than her friend. They offered her a smaller aircraft anyways, and she rejected it. Sources claims that Justin's overspending added to their money troubles. But wait, there's more. TMZ investigators say that Hailey and Selena Gomez drama is one-sided on the Bieber's end. Sources claim Selena is constantly on Hailey's mind and is sort of a benchmark for her. State that Selena lives in Hailey's head. I believe that. I absolutely believe this. According to people in Bieber's camp, Selena is reportedly a thorn in their side. Not because Selena has done anything. It's that Hailey's perception of Selena, okay, is the reason why she doesn't like her. Here's the thing. Hailey is making Justin go broke. I've noticed ever since he got with Hailey, he's worked less and less. He don't put out music like he used to. And my whole thing is he's acting like a bum and he's looking like one too. Okay? And here's the thing. How is Hailey gonna request for a bigger jet like she's some sort of star? Bitch, if you don't sit the fuck down trying to keep up with the Kardashians and Joneses when you probably one paycheck from being homeless. Let's be very clear. One paycheck from being bankrupt. That's what the rich people that go broke do. Okay? They don't just go homeless. They file for bankruptcy. I'm sorry. So 300,000 lashings for Hailey and Justin. Justin, you should be ashamed of yourself. If you gross $1 billion, which it was reported that he did gross $1 billion in his career, you should damn well have some money saved. I'm disappointed in you. And I blame Hailey. Hailey's been blowing his money on stupid stuff, and now he's broke as a joke. And guess what? When you drop music, I won't be supporting it. I only support smart artists, not dummies. Now, moving on to Joey Dumbass. He decided to come after the king of rap, which is really, really dumb. He dropped some bars for Kung Fu Kenny, which I feel like are a little bit mid. He said, "I salute you, Kenny, but I know you are well aware. You looking for some competition, then you know that I'll be here. I've been a beast with these flows. Niggas, you can ask Dot. Kill Illuminati Part 2. Yeah, that was my last shot. I feel like these bars are a little bit corny. And how you competition when you sell plastic cups, you can damn sure not do no damn stadium world tour. You probably could do a barbecue or a high school concert, but you can't do no stadium tour. I don't understand how you in competition with Kung Fu Kenny. He's light years ahead of you. Lyrically, catalog-wise, sales-wise, gross tours-wise. How are you competition? You are like what Scratch Off is to Nicki Minaj. Okay? Like, you ain't no damn competition. These bitches and little niggas are delusional. 300,000 lashes for Joey Dumbass. It's always the little fishes trying to go up against the big sharks. How are you his competition when you can never see him in any lane? Not in tours, albums, album sales, or impact. What are you talking about? You need to be beefing with like G Herbo and Lil Baby. This is the problem with the younger generation. They always want to go up against the big dogs. You and Scratch Off are delusional. I remember Scratch Off trying to do that to Nicki Minaj. You need to be beefing with G Herbo, Lil Baby, maybe Rich the Kid, and leave the king of rap alone. You are not on his level, dummy. Anyway, I got some very hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description, and have a great day.